Entertainment Journalism Awards, Keith received a First Place Award presented by the Los Angeles Press Club for his entertainment reporting, and we couldn't be prouder. Congratulations, Keith, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. We got a little hip hop for you in the mix. We're down to the 12 days of Christmas, so it's appropriate, right? And we're talking about Run Sister-in-Law tonight. That's just one of the topics that we're going to be getting into tonight as we get into all of the trending topics and headlines that have been running the timeline. The tea is steeped, the wigs are secure, and the business, well, it's Wednesday, so we're going to get all up in the business. We have a guest tonight, so let me give you the rundown of all the topics we're talking about this evening. Now, if you did not know, the ultra fabulous Kimora Lee Simmons, my Taurus sister, is back on E! With a reality show with all of her children. And, you know, she's been doing promotion for it. So, if you recall, it's been almost 2 years ago, Aoki, you know, had a moment where she was finding herself in the world, so to speak, and was dating an older man. A significantly older man. Well, Kimora is finally sharing her thoughts on that, so we're going to get into those details. We are also talking Joy Reid. You know, Stephen A., he's had a lot of conversation lately, a lot of conversation about some black women that people feel like, you know, he's overstepping his bounds, but tiptoeing with women of another hue, less melanated. So Joy Reid had a response to some of the things that he said about her in his response to Cari Champion. So we're going to get into that. And because it's Wednesday and we get all up in the business Wednesday, breaking down the business of sports and entertainment, we have entertainment attorney Nyanza Shaw joining us to break down what the hell is going on with Netflix and Warner Brothers and Skydance, Paramount, and how this could possibly impact you. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of that. So we have that coming up. But before we do that, you know, I have to start the night with a couple of conversation starters. First up, the Met Gala 2026 co-chairs have been announced. And listen, your girl Beyonce is making her return to the Met Gala. I said net. She made her first appearance 10 years ago, right? And so now she returns as one of the chairs along with Nicole Kidman, Venus Williams, and of course Anna Wintour. So the theme for the upcoming gala, it'll be in May, is going to be, costume art. Now we know Beyonce loves a good theme. We know her costumes for tour are always superb. So I think that it makes sense that she would be involved in this. Nicole Kidman right now, I know her for white women in distress wigs. That means the movie is going to be very, very good, or the series, if Nicole Kidman has on a bad lace front in it. You know it's going to be fire. So I think that it's going to be a good Met Gala. I love seeing all of the things. Venus Williams is returning as fashion co-chair. Athletic prestige, meets couture. So, we have that to look forward to. Yeah, that's in May. So, shout out to that. And listen, you fans of Barbershop, the TV series is coming. It was announced a while ago, but some more casting announcements have been made. Bokeem Woodbine. Now, we know we love Bokeem Woodbine. That is like the 90s bro. Always solid. When Bokeem shows up, the character's either going to be crazy, intense, but always good. Like, he's going to give you a good performance. So, Bokeem is joining the cast. Brisha Webb. We know Brisha's always good for a laugh. Langston Kerman and Tiana Oyeke. I probably jacked that up. I apologize, Tiana. We're going to get that right. But shout out to you. So it's expanding the franchise with Trav Porter, who is taking over for Calvin's Legacy. That's being played by Jermaine Fowler. You know him from Coming to America 2, right? Right. And the OG co-writer, Marshall Todd, is returning. So creative continually. Right? It's by Heartbeat Productions, Amazon MGM Studios, and we're going to see what it's going to do. Were there 3 barbershops or just 2? I think there was just 2. I think there was just 2. Eve was in the first one. Who drank my apple juice? Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into all these trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers, and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Kohl's Customer Appreciation Event is here, right in time for the gift exchange. Even though everyone pretends gifting isn't a competition, it kinda is. At Kohl's, save on gifts everyone will fight over. From sweaters and flannels to air fryers, toaster ovens, and more. Because deep down, the gift exchange isn't just about giving. It's also about winning. Shop Kohl's and save on top gifts now. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end December 14th. See store or kohls.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Okay, you know how this goes down. If at any point you want to get in on the conversation, 800-920-1580. That's the number that you can call to share your thoughts. And, we love to hear from you. Also, you can get at us on social media, KBLA 1580, or you can hit me up personally, Stiletto Jill. You also can drop into the YouTube chat to get the visual to go along with this audio experience. A shout out to the chat, the VIPs, their community, their whole vibe. And what's wrong, Andy? And
my bad.
Okay, I'm
Wrong
like,
mic.
what happened?
Facebook too. For any Facebook cats, you know what I'm saying? We're
That's
live
right.
on there as well.
That's right. We are streaming on Facebook occasionally. Tonight's one of those occasions. So don't leave YouTube to go to Facebook. But if you're on Facebook, check us out on Facebook. How about that? Sounds great to me. All right. So first up, right, Kimora Lee Simmons. Like I said, I love my Taurus sister. Her book, Fabulosity, was incredible about style, personal development, and all of the things. Kimora was actually one of the first people I personally heard use the phrase, pay yourself. She talked about in that book about the concept of paying yourself first, whether that is when you get paid from your job, putting money into a savings account, investing, whatever. She talked about that in her book. And she also talked about writing yourself a check for, manifesting and things like that. And I did that. And I don't remember how many years later, but I actually, on that date, could cash the amount of the check that I wrote. And it was significant. It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I took one of my checks. I wrote the check to myself and the amount. And I put it on my little bulletin board, day board, just so I would see it every day.
That's so crazy.
When I leave the house. And then however many years later, the amount on the check,
man,
I had it in my account. Like I could have cashed that check out. Cash me out. Hey.
If I remember correctly, Jim Carrey has a similar story like that as well too.
Yep.
That's crazy. I'm about to do the same thing.
Do it. Do it. Seriously. It's intention. So, I like Kimora. I mess with Kimora, right? So she has a new reality show on E! With her and her family. We know many, many years ago she had one when the tots were little, when Ming and Aoki were pretty young then, like toddlers almost, maybe a little bit above that. So they're back. And in the media blitz that Kimora is doing for it, she was asked to share her thoughts on Aoki's highly publicized former relationship with 65-year-old restaurateur Vittorio Assaf, right? He owns Serafina, or he owned. And she called the situation predatorial and kind of crazy, right? So the situation happened last year in 2024. Kimora said she discovered it just like we all did on social media. So let's hear what she had to say.
Aoki also had some other press with the 65-year-old man.
First of all, I know this guy, but I didn't know this guy in that capacity, like with my kid, or that you were even dating my kid, or even I know this guy growing up myself. I don't know, I don't want to get into troubles legally, but I think his reputation probably precedes him. So I was learning some of these things as I went along too. And
were you like, what the hell are you doing to Aoki, or no?
I was, but I didn't say it in that way because it was this fast that it blew up to be so much. And so then you can't be the mom that's like, what the hell are you doing? But that definitely was the thing. But it went from 0 to 100 really quick. And I was like, Aoki. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this was a thing. I found out when the world found out. But I do think in general of those kind of things, I do think it's predatorial. We said all of that to get to what Kimora thinks about it. I think that's predatorial and kind of crazy.
So at the time, Aoki was 21, right? And, you know, social media, you guys are mean. You guys are cruel. And you have a lot of opinions. So people were in the comments saying that it was Kimora's fault that Aoki stepped into that type of situation because that is the situation that her parents were in. So we know that there's an age gap between Kimora and Russell. And depending upon whose version of events you believe, Kimora was kind of young, maybe younger, but kind of young when they first started dating. And, you know, people love to be mean and throw salt and throw shade. But what I will say is this, and this is for anyone. As a parent, don't you want to see your children do better than what you did? So if you do feel like Kimora was groomed or she was in a relationship that wasn't appropriate, why would you want her not to be against her young daughter entering into something like that? Why are you throwing salt at her for saying what you were saying anyway? People are so bitter. Honestly, are people allowed to grow and evolve anymore? Do you expect them to pop out fully formed with the exact right response to everything, no matter their age, no matter their exposure, no matter what they've been through, no matter what you've been through? I really wonder about that currently because we are so critical, especially of things that, you know, youth is youth. We've all been young. We've all done some things that, you know, when we get older, like, man, I was tripping. What? You know, thank you, God, for getting me through it, right? So, one, again, that situation was crazy. Aoki was tripping, whatever she was going through at that particular moment, right? But just like we got to give her grace, give Kimora grace, because she's never shown that she was an out-of-touch mom, that she was an irresponsible mom. Andy?
Are they still together?
Her and Russell?
No, Aoki and...
Oh, no, it was a quick thing. It was
a quick
done.
thing?
Yeah.
I mean, did anything negative come out of that situation?
We don't know.
So why are we tripping?
Because that's what we do.
Come on, dog.
We criticize.
She was 21, right?
She was of age to make her fully formed choice. We may not feel it's the best one, but she was of age to do so. The crazy thing is, nobody has smoke for the gentleman. Nobody's talking about him.
Hey, man, we
Nobody's
live in a patriarchal
throwing darts
society,
at him.
dog.
Huh?
I said we live in a patriarchal society. He's winning.
We do. We always got problems with the women. Fahima in the chat says, Russell Simmons wasn't old enough to be Kimora's grandfather. People are so cruel. Exactly. He was older, but there is a difference between grandpa and, you know.
Well, y'all like older men anyway, right?
I mean, it depends on the woman. Some women do.
Well, I think she loves her some seasoned, distinguished gentlemen.
I think it was just a moment.
It was just a moment, and probably some bread
A cry
exchanged.
For help. A cry for help or something. Some attention. She wanted some attention, and she got it, and we've moved on. Just, you know, give them a break, right? If you've seen clips from the show, Kimora is in full mommy mode. There's a scene that's floating around where Aoki gets really offended because Ming tells her that she looks healthy. Because she said, in their household, healthy means fat. Aoki, nobody's calling you fat, baby. Nobody. At all. So, anyway, that's that. You know, shout out to Kimora. I just love her. Make sure to tap into the show because, you know, it's always entertaining. So, EA Sports 77 says, that's fair, Jill. I often think people get heavily criticized for changing their position. No grace for growth. I think that, and Urban Spinster says, we're not signing up to be a hospice nurse, Andy. You know. Men want to
You not.
Yeah. I'm not. It's for sure.
Hey, she was for the time being, though.
You know.
She
A
was
weekend.
M's.
A week.
Hey.
Something. I don't know. But listen, we're going to move forward, right? And we're going to dive into, because it's Wednesday. And you know, Wednesdays are where we break down the business behind sports and entertainment. And I'm not alone tonight. I am joined by entertainment. Why can I not speak tonight? It's one of those nights. It's okay. It's the holidays. No, it's definitely not that. It's not the bubbly.
And you just need some eggnog, that's all. It'll loosen you up.
I do need some eggnog. I haven't had any yet.
Disgusting.
You don't like eggnog?
Hell no.
So many people don't. I like eggnog.
I'd be on the toilet.
Really
after.
appreciate
Lactose intolerant, I'm sorry. TMI.
You know, yeah.
I can eat cheese, though, which is crazy, and pizza. But
you know that they
cream
have
and all that,
like oat milk and almond milk and other
what,
versions.
for eggnog?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still not doing it. The egg and all that, I'm good.
You like the egg?
Mm-mm.
It's not nogging for you?
It's not nogging for me.
A little bit brandy or whatever? I don't know. Okay, so listen. I'm not alone. We're breaking down the business behind this Netflix confusion. Who's it going to be sold to? What does it mean for us as consumers? Why should we care? Should we be concerned? We should be concerned. But should we be concerned? Entertainment attorney Nyanza Shaw is back in the building. Welcome back, Nyanza. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me back. Always good to be here.
Always good to see you. Listen, this Netflix situation, right? We've been hearing about it, the potential sale of Warner Brothers to them, Skydance Paramount, who Skydance just recently purchased Paramount. Now they want to buy Warner Brothers. They're mad. They don't feel that it's been a fair competition. Can you sort of break down what this deal is and what's happening with it?
Absolutely. And again, it's definitely top of the headlines. I was traveling, woke up. It's like, oh, Netflix is paying $82 billion to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery. And then a few days later, here comes Paramount Skydance, and they're saying, hey, we're going to do a hostile bid to try to purchase them and raise the price, i.e. raise the roof, and put in our own offer anyway. The foundation of this is that Warner Brothers Discovery is indebted and has a high level of debt, so it's going to be sold anyway. And there had been talks about what that might look like. I do think it's definitely a power play on the Paramount Skydance side to say, hey, no, we want to get in on this. And they have a right to do so because this is a shareholder decision, right? At the end of the day, the shareholders want to do the deal that's going to net them the most money. And so then looking at, what this means in the broader picture of that, the deal piece is actually pretty straightforward. It's more about thinking about the concerns of what either of the deals ultimately would look like for creatives, for consumers, for the business overall. Real quick in terms of just the top line points, the Paramount deal is an all cash deal for about $30 a share. The Netflix deal is an 85% cash, 15% stock deal valued about $27, $28 a share. So Paramount swoops in and says, well, our deal is a better deal because Warner Brothers Discovery had expressed that they wanted an all-cash deal, and we have the cash. Some of the underpinnings of that, which has been going on, you've probably seen in other media, is this idea that the cash offer also includes funds not only from the Ellison family that are very well connected with Trump. There's also a company that Jared Kushner is involved in. There's potential Middle Eastern dollars attached to that cash, all of those things which create this concern about what that deal looks like. But on the business end of it, it really is about whether it's a scale deal for Netflix to expand and acquire, a traditional studio, which they have never had, Or is it more about consolidating two studios, which would be what would happen under Paramount acquiring Warner Brothers Discovery? One thing that I learned about actually recently is this idea that if the shareholders who have preliminarily approved the Netflix deal end up going with the Paramount deal, Paramount has to pay Warner Brothers $2.8 billion for kind of like breaking that initial approval. But I guess in a $100 billion deal, $2 billion doesn't matter.
$2 billion matters. It's
$2.8 billion doesn't matter.
Do monopolies exist anymore? Like, as far as our structure, what is considered a monopoly?
Now, a monopoly traditionally is this idea that you have one company that is controlling a certain market share of any sort of industry. In this instance, either one of these deals are going to have to go through super scrutiny regarding regulatory issues, antitrust issues, all of those things. The other kind of feather in the hat for Paramount is saying, well, we can get those regulatory issues and approval quicker.
Of course they can.
Mainly because they have a great relationship with Trump. But you guys also might have seen that, Ted Sarandos from Netflix met with Trump. And, I think Trump is someone who wants to go with the winner, but he also wants to have some input and control over that. And so the other, again, I think the biggest concerns are all these other underpinnings of things. So part of the Warner Brothers Discovery bucket includes HBO, includes CNN, includes DC Comics. In either instance, Trump has his eye on who owns CNN and how does CNN treat him and what does that look like, right? But that isn't necessarily relative to the bigger idea of what either one of these deals look like. That is a total restructuring of the entertainment ecosystem overall, which is really why it's such a big deal, because of the ripples effects of it are so broad, again, for creatives, for the consumers. Another big concern is relative to the theatrical business, both in the U.S. and worldwide. Like, all of those things are part of the deal.
When we come forward, I'm going to ask you about some of the consumer concerns as well as the theatrical things and some of the things that you listed off and how it impacts us. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I be on my little mouse drill. Got that rap to pay your bills. Yeah, I'm on some rap to pay my bills. All up on TV, I thought it made me richer. Wasn't paying me enough, I needed something quicker. So now I'm all in Nico basement, putting working on the phones. Either that or try the money more to make.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Governor-elect Mikey Sherrill says she'll continue efforts to improve maternal health in New Jersey, especially for Black women.
I'm committed to continuing that important work to improve maternal health outcomes, particularly for Black women.
Speaking at the Nurture New Jersey Summit, she credited progress made under Governor Murphy. Former Family Matters star Darius McCrary is out of jail after 2 months following a missed child support court date. He entered a no-contest plea to 5 felony charges and will be sentenced in February. His team says he was improperly served while battling COVID. And Chicago grade schoolers got a surprise visit from former President Barack Obama during a field trip to the Bessie Coleman Library. Wearing a Santa hat, he greeted the Burke Elementary students while in town to check in on the Obama Presidential Center, set to open in June 2026. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
In Santa Ana on the 55 southbound at MacArthur Boulevard, a two-vehicle collision is blocking the slow lane, and that's causing slowing leaving Villa Park and the city of Orange, starting at Chapman Avenue. Better news out of Pasadena, 210 westbound before Lake Avenue. An accident involving a big rig and a car has cleared out of the right-hand lane. You're still slow from Myrtle. As far as the Golden State Freeway, 5 northbound right at the 170 Hollywood Freeway is an accident blocking the slow lane.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the dagger? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man. A programming note for you. Tonight at 6 p.m. on ESPN, I encourage you to tune in to the premiere of a new 30 for 30 documentary called Booyah. It's the story of groundbreaking ESPN sportscaster Stuart Scott, who passed away in 2015 from cancer at the age of 50. Before Stephen A. Smith, Scott was the face of ESPN and raised the network's profile with his unique blend of journalism, personality, and blackness. Scott had the courage to bring African-American culture to network TV, and it paid off big time for ESPN. It also turned Scott into an iconic figure in sports broadcasting and inspired many young black broadcasters to follow in his footsteps. If you never saw Scott's highlights on SportsCenter, when he often said, "This dude is smooth as the other side of the pillow," or when he yelled, "Can I get a witness from the congregation?" Take a moment tonight to watch the legacy of Stuart Scott. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
I got the champagne. Everybody can glass.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates our own Keith Underwood, host of the weekend entertainment show Black in the Green Room, on his recent honor at the annual National Arts and Entertainment Journalism Awards. Keith received a first place award presented by the Los Angeles Press Club for his entertainment reporting, and we couldn't be prouder. Congratulations, Keith, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Days after the Eaton fire devastated entire neighborhoods in Pasadena and Altadena, Black Freedom Fund, an organization that invests in leaders and organizations transforming black communities, established the Black LA Relief and Recovery Fund. The Black LA Relief and Recovery Fund is supporting local organizations, providing direct resources to families, and making sure that recovery reflects the needs and voices of the people who live there. For many, the journey to rebuild is just beginning, and the Black Freedom Fund is committed to being with them every step of the way. Stand with Dina. Donate by texting Black LA to the number 707070. That's Black LA to 707070. Together, we can help our neighbors rebuild their homes, lives, and hope. The Black Freedom Fund is proud to sponsor Conversation Live, Altadena Rising, with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Tell me what you want. 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 Tell me what you want from me. You're my MVP. Tonight I plan on getting you to sleep. To put it deep. Baby, you know I'm a different type of freak. So what you tryna do to me? Don't be shy, too dirty to me. Let's take a shot of Hennessy. Tell me what you want. How you want it? Act up and face down with the loving. Baby, let me know when you need it. 4-course meal chop down when you need it. Make me curl my toes.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. All right, we have to give birthday shout-outs. First Golden Globe nomination shout-out African American Film Critics Association nominee. Just last night at the Critics' Choice Awards for Black TV and Cinema, this young lady, along with, actually, I think Regina Hall's a SAG too. So 2 SAG sisters representing for one battle after another last night at the Critics' Choice Black Cinema and TV Honors. I believe that's the full, complete, proper name. Happy birthday, Tiana Taylor. And I know Regina Hall's a SAG, so happy birthday to her too. Listen, this has been Tiana's year. Top to bottom, music, films, nominations, performances. Don't forget she was in Straw with Tyler Perry. She had a Tyler Perry joint. She has one battle after another. She's doing it.
I feel like it's her era, low key.
I mean, yeah, she's always been talented. 100%. She's just one of those people that is just creative in every fiber of her being. You know, from the tip of her hair to the pinky toe. She can, I mean, her creative direction. Look how she revived Summer Walker, Lotto, a couple others. She creative directed and helped them with their stage show.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And directs videos and does commercials.
Yep.
And
all of that.
creative
Concepts
direction.
and everything. I mean, she's just a creative force.
100%.
Oh, I remember. She was co-host of this year's Met Gala. One of the
That
co-hosts,
is
right?
true. She was. So, happy birthday and big ups to Tiana. It's certainly your year. So, live it up. Enjoy.
Can we mention the come up on the guy, too? Is that part of her being her year?
I mean, yeah.
You know what?
I wasn't going to say anything about Aaron Pierre, but obviously that's included in this year.
Hey,
Mufasa.
she's doing a lot of
yeah,
winning.
that's
She's
Mufasa.
doing a lot of winning.
Come on now, Miss Shaw. You know what's funny? I was thinking about the same thing, too. I was about to be like, yo, Iman Shumpert, I know you probably mad or whatnot, but I didn't want to bring that up, but yeah. Congratulations to you.
I mean, that was automatically included. I didn't, I probably should have spelled it out, but I didn't think I had to. Like, she got Mufasa. Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. People were going crazy for that for months. Speaking of, because, that happened at the Jennifer Hudson show, which is filmed where? On the Warner Brothers lot.
Way to bring it back, Jill.
I know, that's right. We're talking to entertainment attorney. Jesus, see? Then you messed it up for me. I'm just like, we're talking to entertainment attorney Nyanza Shaw, and she's helping us break down the ins and outs to understand why this Netflix potential deal or Paramount Skydance for Warner Brothers Studios is so impactful. So before we came forward, you mentioned about the consumer impact and the impact to creatives. Can you sort of break both of those down and help us understand as consumers why we should care what looks like billionaires fighting over billionaire stuff?
Absolutely, even though that is exactly what it is. So a lot of the talk is relative to these concerns on the creative side, because if you have fewer buyers, fewer decision makers, they're going to pick fewer projects. So there's a reduction in diverse projects that can be made, which also obviously impacts especially Black voices, Black stories, et cetera, because once you're consolidating and you're focused on that bottom line, you're less likely to take risks. Mm-hmm. And they're going to then continue to lean into established IP, existing IP, big brands.
Even though that hasn't been working for them all that well either.
It has not, but, that's different than taking a risk on something new. And so there's that piece on the creatives. It's like, okay, well, where do I sell my project to if there's only one or two people that I can take it to now, right? Because there's no diversity in that. And then on the consumer side, we've seen it. This disruption has been happening about 10 years. The prices are going up, all the streaming services. At some point, we cut the cord and we're like, oh, we're going to save money because we're only paying $10 here and $10 here, for different streaming services. In the last 5 years, all of them have gone up at least 60-70% from $9.99 to $19.99.
Why am I paying $16 for commercials?
And that part. So a lot of times, right, the original streaming, sell was that there's no commercials. I have a little like rub with the fact that part of it also was that we can binge. You know, they created this binge economy and this binge culture. And now we're back to like dropping episodes. I'm like, well, why am I paying to wait for an episode?
Right.
I'm thinking I'm paying it so I can watch it whenever I want. You know, but all of those things kind of come into play. So it does mean that there are probably going to then continue to be these consolidations of these streaming services, which means we'll continue to pay more for the streaming services. I think what's interesting is the content creator economy, which is booming, is actually taking a lot of eyes. And so YouTube is actually the largest viewed platform right now.
Big up to the chat.
Big up to the chat and YouTube. And then also Tubi is growing. And Tubi just did like 6 original deals with influencers that have
I
a
saw
million.
Kev on stage and show, what is it, In Therapy or something? Yeah.
Yeah, and so they're doing original content with content creators to do original shows, and their viewership is growing. They have over 100 million, subscriber viewers.
It's doubled because I remember in 2023 it was record breaking when they had about 58 million, and I just saw a report the other day, like you said,
100 million.
Yes.
Yeah. So y'all think people aren't watching Tubi, but everybody's watching Tubi, and they're elevating the quality of their content.
Because that's what I was about to say. One thing that I have noticed as the viewers have increased, the Tubi movies, that effect that we saw a couple years ago, like Down in the D, and what is the one? There was one about the girl, Secret Society. That was a big one. Those seem to have quieted as Tubi has expanded. And
Absolutely.
I thought, much like we saw with Fox, UPN, and the CW, it felt like a lot like, you're once again building your brand on the backs of us.
Black creatives and then
abandon
into other folks. Yeah, for sure.
Listen, when we come forward, we're going to talk more about this topic, and we're going to check in on Joy Reid and the message she had for Stephen A. Smith. It's an important one. So all of that and more when we come forward.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you have asthma, you know that there are certain things that can set off your asthma symptoms. These things are called triggers, and patients with severe asthma have an average of 8 triggers. It could be pollen, dust, pollution, colds, viruses, smoke, or stress. If you know your symptoms, you have already taken the first step to managing your asthma. The next step is to write your triggers down in a notebook or journal and record your symptoms when you come across those triggers. This will give your healthcare provider valuable information about what you can do to help manage your triggers. By understanding your triggers and writing them down, you are on your way to taking back control of your lung health. Visit luma-edu.com for more guidance. This message is brought to you by Amgen and AstraZeneca. JP Morgan Chase offers tips for the local business owners in 2025. Small business landscape is ever-changing, and the Los Angeles market is no exception. A startup or legacy business, revisiting your mission statement and recalibrating offerings can renew opportunities for growth and innovations. Programs like Chase for Business Coaching for Impact gives entrepreneurs access to expert guidance, helping you streamline operations, strategize your growth, and navigate complex challenges. Businesses with a clear sense of purpose can navigate any challenge effectively, but also build stronger customer loyalty. Visit chase.com/coaching for impact for more information. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. All right, so listen. We've been listening to Stephen A. Smith. Yes? Oh. It's low. We've been listening to Stephen A. Smith talk a little mess for the past month. You know, he has entered the political space with his straight shooter. Is that what the political aspect is called? I know it's Straight Shooter Media, but the political podcast is called Straight Shooter as well, right? Okay. Wanted to make sure I got that right. So he's been highly critical of Jasmine Crockett. You know, he's talked his stuff. He's done his thing, right? So Cari Champion pointed out recently that she felt that Stephen A. had more smoke for Black women than he does for women like Michelle Beadle, who have basically said that, you know, she is making it her mission to see Stephen A. rot, right? Cari felt that, you know, you take it easy on some, but on your sisters, you're riding hard. So Stephen A. had a response. He talked about what he did or didn't do for Cari. He mentioned Joy Reid. Well, Joy Reid then came on Cari Champion's podcast, and she had some words for Mr. Stephen A. Let's listen.
He was talking about your show. What did he say about your show? And then you had to respond. How
He said I got fired for ratings. And I'm like, excuse me, sir. You got $100 million for a show with half my ratings at my worst. I had to literally Google his numbers. I'm like, how many people listen to the show? Is it like 4 million people? Oh, wait, it's like, what, 500,000 people? Dude, that's like average CNN. That's not that high. They're paying you not for your numbers, my friend. They're paying you because you are willing to say the nasty things about Black people that they want to say. You're willing to take their denigration of Black women and put it in the mouth of a Negro. And because you're willing to put the denigration of Black women in particular into a Negro's mouth, you now think that, oh, I must be a freaking political genius. But just be clear, you're not being paid for your numbers. You're being paid for what you're willing to do to us for white people's entertainment. And as long as you cool with that, bruh, keep being you. But don't come for my friends. Don't come for people that I know their value and try to devalue them in front of all the Black women who can see and hear you, because we know what you're doing.
Woo! Well
said.
I mean, listen, you know, it's hard because you see how hard Stephen A. is grinded to get where he is, right? We know he'd been fired. I'm saying, as far as, look, Nyanza's looking at me like, what are you talking about, Jill? I mean, but really, he, you know, since the early days when he was in Philly and a beat reporter, he stayed the course. Now, we don't have to agree with all of his takes. But the fact that a Black man has managed to stay in media, climb his way to the top, get a, you know, $100 million deal from ESPN, right? All BS aside, you know, as the face of the network, it does say something about work ethic, right? Now, I'm not saying that what Joy said didn't have a couple of points. right? Softly, gently. But I do want to acknowledge that Stephen A has put in the work. So from that, right? We can feel how we feel about the performance, but he has done the work and made some sacrifices. Maybe some feel sacrificed others to get in this position. Andy?
Real quick. If you follow Stephen A for a long, long time, this man is a proud capitalist. He said it several times, unapologetic about it. So that right there should just let you know his view and his whole objective. He's a capitalist. So he's going to do whatever he can do to make the bread. I just, once again, as consumers, I just think we need to just discern what's real, what's not. And once again, why once again? I rock with Stephen A, but I feel like we get outraged so much by this guy. Like, what weight does he really have? What influence does he truly have, considering all the people that hate him?
The audacity in a mic.
The audacity and a mic, and he has influence because one of the points that Joy Reid makes is that a majority of your audience is actually white. And he's commenting a lot of times on black athletes, black women, all of these other things that are happening, and now
so
going
he's
into
the
this
translator
political space
for them.
Yes, and so they're paying attention.
That's
we
fair.
might be like, oh, whatever, Steve's full of F's, whatever. Right. But other people are taking that as what it is and don't just see it sometimes for his over-the-top antics and commentary.
So we know that he has political aspirations, right? We know that he has acting aspirations. We know that he has his media company that he is full steam ahead with. Is there, and I know solution is a loose term because, you don't make solutions for people. It's basically just him giving his opinion. We can ignore it. But is there some sort of meeting of the minds or some midway way that this isn't so volatile as far as Stephen A. and especially the women of our community, because that's largely what it is. I mean, there's athletes tension, but I feel like that's a little different because he's critiquing them and, you expect that to be sort of prickly.
But that's the thing, right? Part of what these takes have become is that it's beyond critiquing performance with athletes. It is critiquing lifestyle. It is critiquing the culture in general. And I do think that some of what it is, whether we're ignoring it or paying attention to it, is dangerous in how it's presented from him. The thing that just popped into my mind, it was probably because I was here around the Super Bowl, was the comment that he made about Serena and her husband that was disrespectful as heck about her during the Super Bowl. What does that have to do with you and your, that's not commenting on sports.
Let me
that's
ask you
commenting
this,
on
though.
a black woman in a negative light, which he does quite often.
Facts and fair. But the idea of him commenting on culture, because so much of what is media revolves around culture now.
4,000%. Entertainment is culture, media is culture. We lead the culture, right? And he happens to be this very large voice in this culture and space and is expanded beyond sports, which is fine, which to your point, I give him, kudos for that. You're continuing to grow, grind, etc. But again, I do think that is somewhat dangerous in the things that you say and the way you skew things, whether it's Jasmine Crockett, whether it's Joy-Ann Reid, whether it's Serena.
Very much old school, and this is no shade to my Gen X bros. I love y'all. But very much Gen X, older guy coded. There's a lingo and a language and a thought process that was prevalent. I feel like in Gen X men, especially ones that are on the upper end of the spectrum, I'm not saying it, look, Andy's like, oh, why? I'm not even saying it from a judgmental place. I'm saying it, that's how they were raised. Yeah. That's what the environment put into them, these certain thoughts. And, for them, especially at the time when they came up where, we were loving our Wesleys and Denzels and the dark-skinned black man, love and respect and protect the black man. Isn't that what the license plates used to say? And all of that. I think that they, in some ways, have not had to adjust as readily as some of the other ones because I feel like they get passes sometimes to slide through because they're the hip ones or because they're the cool ones, because they are the purveyors of culture in some aspects. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We know he's not going to stop talking, but...
Hey, yeah, he's a talker. He's going to keep talking.
Listen, we are reaching the end of the night rather quickly. Nyanza Shaw, please tell the people where they can find you to catch up more. You guys need to subscribe to her newsletter. It's wonderful. It keeps you updated on all the legal moves and happenings in Hollywood and beyond. So get on that. And in order to do that, you need to...
Just follow me on all the platforms, @Shaw Esquire on Instagram, and there's a link there to subscribe to my newsletter and other things. And again, I'm always happy to be here, always happy to chat with you, so it's a good time.
Nyanza's going to stamp it and break it down to us so that we understand clearly and can clear past all of the junk, So thank you guys for tapping in. I'm here each and every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. with your trending topics and headlines. Coming up next is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. He is going to give you that good soul clenching conversation that you so greatly desire. Have a good night, y'all.
Night.
Royalty, so me happy say thing alright. Never ever happy think twice, no way. If I ever make it in a life, you are gonna be living like royalty. So me happy say thing alright. Never ever happy think twice, no way. Me used to sleep on Stagger Couch. Me used to sleep on Corey Couch. Them and they never left me out. Me used to live at Eddie House. Me never keep me own a key. She keep my used to let me out. Me bring him with me go LA. It's like a him get nominated. Watch the Grammy side of me. Cause how much people can you say would feed you when you're hungry, when you're broke, them bless you with money. But I have been so fortunate, surrounded by so many people, make sure say me go pathetic. And them the thing me can't forget. Your daughter and my daughter wants me living, she no happy fret. If I ever make it in a life, you are gonna be living like royalty. So me happy say the thing alright. Never ever happy think twice, no way. If I ever make it in a life.